all
think,
like
how many students?
Candy Boy's gonna take it over.
Is she?
19?
Okay.
Probably Keith and Brianna will probably
Yeah.
help her, but she was talking about, she said she might take it over.
Kim works for us. She's great. So we've gotten to know them a little bit more. You want to take her?
It's hard for me to be a bad influence. I know, she wanted to stay with her dad.
There.
I'm sitting on the cul-de-sac,
Good.
sitting out there with my neighbor.
Good. How are you?
He goes,
Very best close for her today.
You're booking flights and everything else.
She's supposed to do swim lessons tomorrow, and I don't. We'll see what time we're gonna have to do, but she's and then she works Friday is like 11 and a half hours.
Yeah, go
And
see
then
each other
Saturday
and
she
stuff,
works.
stuff like that.
And
Yeah,
she's
yeah. I enjoy that.
For now.
Yeah, that's
Poor
right.
thing.
That'd be a nice one.
Someone pooed in the pool.
No, she's Emmy Lou's a lifeguard, so it closed early today.
I've been there, I heard it's really nice though.
It was nice.
Which one is it?
The Fall Aquatic, it's where the old high school used to be.
Okay.
Oh,
She's got all the money back.
Yeah, she's like,
She's
Oh,
gonna be making the bank.
I don't see any, so.
You're like, oh, the bills will come in.
Oh, but she's tan and she's got freckles and.
Oh,
I
can't wait to see her.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everybody's listening, they said to tell her hi.
I'd rather find a dead bird.
But yeah, she worked,
Yeah, that's.
until over, she was supposed to be off at 3, but some people left and so they cleaned for like
Right.
another 45
Yeah.
minutes.
We've got audio but not video. So. At least it's live streaming with audio. 6, so. That's what I get for messing with settings.
Alright, everybody welcome to the Town of Cherubusco's council meeting for July 2nd. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Sorry, Mark,
Present.
Nathan Van Horn,
Present.
Devin Keener,
Present.
Madeline Sabal, present.
Alright, it's time, we're gonna open up, the hearing, the encroachment hearing for 953 West Wheatfield Lane and 115 South Main Street.
We should do that, do them separately, two separate.
Okay, separate, okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
Alright, so first we'll do it for the 953 West.
So Lori Krieger is here. She is wanting to install a fence, a new fence and a new shed, correct? Or,
No, the shed's there, the fence is there, I just wanna replace the fence.
okay, well, we put shed on there just in case for future, so.
Perfect.
So then you'll have to come back and do this again. So,
Another one shot for you.
yeah, so anyway, yeah, she just wants to replace the existing fence. The current fence is encroaching the easement by a couple feet, so just need approval to allow her to be in the easement by a couple feet.
Any questions or
I don't.
any comments from you or any questions you have for us?
I just wanna get rid of the ugly fence and put a nice one
There
up.
you go. Right, yes ma'am.
Perfect.
Alright, I'll make a motion, we allow the easement for 953 West Wheatfield Lane.
Second.
Have a motion and a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Love you.
And then I'll just need to, I know who you are, but I still need to see your license, and then after they get this signed,
Okay,
have you sign it in my presence, and then we'll be good to go.
okay, sounds good, thank you.
She's gotta take it to get it recorded, correct?
Yes.
Do you need that? You have to take it for.
I have no clue.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, so the next step, sorry, I thought that Travis told you all this. Next step, you take it to the recorder's office, and then they will issue your building permit,
Okay,
once it's recorded.
alright.
So yeah, if you just wanna come up here and sign off, and then you are all set to go.
Good, because Colt wants to go driving.
Oh, good for you.
Scary. About to have a deer license. They might go.
Thank you very much. Yeah, just, go ahead and sign right there, and then that is all yours.
Sorry, just need to take this open.
Yep. Yep, just take the whole thing, they will record it, and then, send you down the hall to the building department, and you'll get your permit.
Alright, thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alright, 115 South Main Street.
American Legion is building a new deck, and, they need to put an ADA ramp on there. It is going to be a removable ADA ramp, however, it will go out in the easement some. So they just need approval to allow for that ADA ramp for when it is out.
I've seen it.
I don't think Pat's here.
We still will pass it and.
Yeah,
she'll just come
yeah, I
in.
told her that-
She'll just come in and.
Yeah, I
do
told her that if she couldn't make it, then she can come sign it at my office, so.
So the easement toward the post office, is that what I'm picking up
I
on?
think it's straight out the
I
back.
think it's straight out the back.
Straight out the back,
Yeah.
just getting
Towards the parking lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. So,
They already got stuff closed down anyways,
Yep.
so
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we approve.
Second?
We have a motion and a second, for the approval of the easement for 115 South Main Street. All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you. Oh, you guys know it, sorry,
Alright, you're good.
signing.
Alright, next we have approval for meeting minutes for June 18th and June 23rd. Any discussion on the meeting minutes?
No, I'll make a motion that we approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second for the approval of the meeting minutes for June 18th and June 23rd. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Alright, at this time, we'll open it up for public comments for anything not already on the written agenda.
have some comments, Kayla Grants. At the Wednesday, June 18th meeting, another citizen stood up and commented on some things, Sean Gordon. And one of the things he brought up was the Douglas Street project, and he was wanting some updates on that. He had heard through the grapevine that he was possibly gonna lose a tree to it, and no one from the town had reached out to him. And then it was said in the meeting that someone would reach out to him the next day. And I happened to drive by his property Friday morning, and I noticed they were out there cutting down the tree. And I figured he probably didn't get a call on Thursday for various reasons. And so I reached out to him just to kind of find out what happened with that, and they just showed up and cut down the tree, and still no one from the town or the engineer or whoever had reached out to him. Town was saying that the tree was in his easement, but then it turns out it wasn't in the easement, and there wasn't even an easement there in his yard on that side of the road. And I believe he met with Jeremy and the engineer, and in talking, they were gonna, moving forward, I think they were gonna take the easement the other direction, on the other side of the street anyway. So long story short, he probably would have had to have the tree cut down. And the town supposedly is supposed to now compensate him for this tree, plus there was money and resources spent paying a contractor to tear it out, so I don't know, I guess my question is, whose responsibility is that, like, to reach out to property owners and just like give them a heads up, like, hey, you know, we're doing this project, you know, if he had been contacted ahead of time, you know, it's possible that it would have been discovered that the tree was not in the easement to begin with before it was ever cut down. So I don't know who would reach out, if it's an engineer, if it's the contractor, if it's someone at the town, but I don't know if we could just kind of like, I don't know, keep an eye on that. And then I happened to just hear that basically the same thing happened to another resident in Sunny Slope. I think it was Diane T. Same deal, basically, they cut down a tree, thinking it was in the easement. Turns out it wasn't in the easement. I think that one was a lot closer, but it turned out it wasn't in the easement. And she was very upset about that from what I heard. The tree also had sentimental value to her as well. I don't know if she's reached out about compensation or anything, but I just, you know, have concerns that, I don't know, maybe we can just be communicating with property owners so that that kind of stuff doesn't happen. And maybe preventing the town from wasting money on, and resources on stuff that maybe shouldn't be cut down. That's my comments.
Thank you. Alright, no other comments, we'll move on. Nothing in old business, unless there's anything that's needed to be added. New business, approval of pay apps, project B, API, you be able to kind of just.
Yeah,
run
just
through
real
that again
quick,
with us?
pay application. Let's see here. This is actually concerning the wastewater project, Project B. If you recall, Project B is the pump station project. There's actually a copy here for,
Yeah, copies.
you got a copy? Okay.
There's also the copy that needs signed, it's got a cover sheet on it.
This one here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is Project B, this is the pump station project. The key part about this is this retainage release. So the punch list has been done, it's been signed off on, and with this, you're basically releasing the last payment. So this would be for $87,445.74, and this would, in theory, close out Project B with API. Now, you still have the open SRF project in general, but the actual contract, this would be their last payment for this project.
closing it out, we like to hear that, huh? Any comments, any questions?
I'd make a motion that we approve payout number B, or letter B.
Second?
I have a motion and a second, to approve the pay app, project B to API in total amount of $87,445.14. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Or just my signature.
Yes, since
Yeah, up
that's,
front.
Sweet.
I did.
Thanks for all your work on it.
you're
I know
welcome.
it's been a long
Yeah,
project.
yeah, getting closer,
Get closer.
yeah.
Then we get down to council reports, that's when I'll kinda have you
Okay.
run over some of the stuff.
Perfect.
There you go, thank you, Casey. Alright, now I guess just kinda the discussion of, what it looks like to appoint members of a couple of the different, committees that need filled. Or, let's see, cause there's 5 on here, but is it true that some of those isn't the council's?
No, these are all ones that,
Okay, that,
these are all the ones that are the council members. I didn't know about the chamber, but apparently that is a seat held by the town, so that would be a position that you need to fill.
Unless the town wants to resign their board or their position on the board.
gotcha, okay.
And the plan commission and BZA are obvious, you know, you have to, and then the formation order from IDEM, grants and appointment to the town for the regional sewer district. And then you also have an appointment to the solid waste board.
I guess
So
let's some
since-
discussion on, what thoughts are on and,
Since Mark and I are already on the planning commission, that means you can't be on there too, right?
Yes, they can, because
Or
they're
you
on public
can't.
meetings.
So all 3 of us can?
Jeremy used to be on there.
And then BZA, Mark and I cannot be on there because
Because you're on plan
on the
commission.
planning,
I
Yeah,
believe
because
that's-
you're elected officials. It has to be a citizen.
so that's, BZA is a citizen,
But it would have
it's
to be-
not already involved.
And they would have to be a resident of the town.
Yes.
Really, the only one I have opinion about is just the reach on sewer district. I believe it should be one of us that should be on that. I'd
So,
like to see that.
that's an interesting one, I was gonna ask, I don't know the territory. Is the town in the regional sewer district territory?
No, but an elected official that does not reside in the territory can serve on the board.
The elected official does not, if they represent that area?
Yes. No, I mean, it's, like Chad Banks doesn't live in any territory,
Okay,
but he's an elected official, and so he serves on the regional sewer district as the commissioner's appointment.
I believe you, but I'll confirm that too.
And the solid waste has to be an elected or appointed official.
I'm fine doing the regional sewer district, already being on it once, but, so
The appointment laws changed yesterday, so that's why I see that.
maybe we ought to just hold off and let it do the review.
When's the next regional sewer district meeting, do you know?
August. After Matt gets back.
So we can do this, maybe hold that to the second July meeting,
Yes, I
Okay.
think that's a great idea,
and I'll check that change in the law.
absolutely.
solid waste member and chamber board member. I'm fine too, kind of putting it out there and allowing people
Yeah.
to show interest and wanna serve on these,
Well, again,
Solid
solid
waste.
waste, you cannot in the chamber.
Yeah, or
Chamber
that's
needs
what I
to
mean
be
as
a
far as
town-
some of these.
Someone that's
some-
appointed
right,
the town.
Right, so
And plan
So
commission
put-
has to be appointed or elected.
I would say that we
So
put
just the BZA.
out ones that can be, just put what is required of them and what, stipulations are, and then allowing people to opportunity to step up and help out,
Could you also like when the meetings are, because that would
Okay.
definitely
Yeah,
affect.
Sure.
What kind of time
Okay, we can
commitment
do
looks
that.
like,
Yeah,
it's a good idea.
We
I
can
mean,
do that.
if it's at 5, I can make it, but anything,
Yeah, we could do that, for
that'd be
sure.
great. Thank you.
Do you want to put together like a list with the appointment requirements?
That would be, nice.
Can you put it on the website?
We can get something like that, there you go.
It's not something not something we gotta do today, right?
No.
Well, Nathan Bilger asked the plan of BZA be appointed because they already have issues with BZA getting quorum. And
They just said they're not having this month's BZA, right? I saw that yesterday or
I
today.
think so.
Yeah,
I think we could probably, wait till.
Let's just
2 weeks from now, right?
think
I know that
we
he was
just-
freaking out last week because he thought that they were having one.
okay.
This
Yeah,
was-
Amanda's her name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she said they're not having a meeting this month.
Yeah, let's just hold off. That'd be my
That's where I'm
opinion,
at,
if you're
let's
okay
try
with
and
that.
put this all together, give some people time to, show interest and then go from there. Alright,
I'll just make a motion that we table all appointments until next meeting.
a second. Alright, have a motion and a second, to table all appointments until next meeting. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I have one more new business too before you
Okay,
move on.
let's say aye, sure.
So there are 2 current contracts with the town that need to be administered. One is when you did, the town was kind of a pass-through entity for the Ideal Builders loan that they got from the Indiana Finance Authority. So in that agreement with Biggs, they agreed to pay the town $10,000 to administer the loan. So we need to have somebody administer that loan process. It's a brand new process, so I know that Madeline received an email today from the Indiana Finance Authority wanting to kind of lay out how they want to see it go. And then the other one is the town has a contract with the Solid Waste Board where they do their payroll.
The solid waste board terminated that yesterday.
Yeah, I was gonna do that
Okay.
in my,
Yeah.
reports, yeah, they just did.
Then-
Got an email today.
Then cross that one off my list. But you still have that agreement with Biggs to administer that loan program. I think it probably was originally intended that Madeline was gonna do it. There is a statute that allows the town to pay the clerk treasurer to do additional tasks, provided that those tasks are listed out what they're doing, and then they're paid. They must be paid directly from that fund associated with that task. So if you paid a third party, or you paid the clerk treasurer, I should say, to do it, that you could do that, but you'd have to use that $10,000 amount to pay her to do that. You don't have to do that, but somebody has to, for the town, 'cause we have a contractual obligation to administer that.
And they are
They're getting
already
ouchie, yeah.
not happy.
What would our other option be as far as who we would pay to do that, like what kind of person does that? What would we be looking at?
It's kind of a grant administrator, it's kind of a loan, but it's more of a grant, I would say, so a grant administrator. Or somebody with a finance experience or background. It's it's similar probably to, I don't think we know exactly what the IFA is gonna want, cause they sent this email today, but I would think it would be pretty similar to like what
That's
something like
what
DLZ does with the pay apps and reviewing the work.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you have somebody at the town who has that skill set, they would probably need to get on the phone with the Indiana Finance Authority to make sure that they know what needs to be done and feel like they can do it, or there's the other statute that you could use to have the clerk treasurer do it, but it's pretty timely.
Do you have any insight on that, Casey, or, about what that
Not
looked like?
directly. Of course, we work with IFA and SRF quite frequently, so, and it's a new program, isn't it?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's a residential
Right.
infrastructure,
TIF.
RIF.
It's actually
Yep.
called a RIF,
RIF,
so.
yep. Yeah, this is the first year for it.
Financing.
Yeah.
It's administering the payment and the contract between the town and the developer.
Correct, so the developer has to have the grant, the town had to issue the bonds, cause that's the only way that the RIF fund can come through from the state.
Sure.
But it all flows back through to the developer, so that's why we said, well, if we're gonna do that, then you're gonna pay us $10,000, cause the town's not gonna be out of pocket money to administer your loan for you. And they agreed to do that. Have they paid the $10,000? Okay.
How time sensitive is it? I mean, do we have?
Like, they submitted their first request last Thursday, or 2 Thursdays ago, when stuff blew up. And have been asking me ever since, which I've been forwarding to you guys, and they've not gotten anywhere.
I mean, I can get on the phone with them tomorrow and figure out where they are. I don't think it makes economic sense for me to administer this. For $10,000, it's gonna be a year-long project.
Yeah. no,
So
yeah.
I don't think you wanna pay me to do it. So I think it'd be better to find somebody from the town or somebody who will do it for the $10,000, because then you're cost neutral, which was the intent,
Right.
is that, you know, you wanna facilitate the new residential development, you want to help them, but you don't wanna be out money, and so, you know, I talked about it in the back and thought 10,000 was a fair number, so the town would be whole. But I can have a quick call with them tomorrow and get you an update on
Might
exactly.
tell you though, if you try to do it, or have a grant administrator do it, they're gonna charge you more than 10 grand to administer it for a year-long project.
Can he not pay his own person? The town has to pay it
We entered into a contract with them. to-
already,
Yeah, already,
it's done,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, the town was gonna administer it,
Right,
town looked different a few weeks
Yeah.
ago than it does now, so, yeah.
But he hasn't paid his 10 grand down.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
null and void, right?
Well, no, it
It was not null and void, we want it to happen, we want this to
Well, I know,
happen.
but what I'm
We
saying
gotta have
is, if
it
he
done.
hasn't did
No, we
his
gotta
part
have
of
it
the
done.
bargain, then I don't think it's a big hurry to get
Yeah,
anything.
I
it's,
think there is a big hurry on this piece of
Well,
it.
I
There is
believe
a
that
big
the
hurry on this
contract
piece of it.
specifically states when they will pay the grant administration fees.
when they start the administration, we haven't
Yes.
started it yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know, doesn't Lori Shipman do it for, Columbia City?
She does do that kind of thing, but nobody's ever done this, so somebody's gonna have to figure it out new.
So maybe we can check with Lori and get some cost comparisons.
It's up to you guys.
I'd say my suggestion would be that we let Andy reach out and see what the process is and that kind of stuff is and that kind of stuff, and we gotta do a special meeting to get it where we're going next, you know, with it, and then I think that's where we ought to be out with it. Just to make sure we get that background information. That's my suggestion, I'm not saying it's right.
I'm doing a special meeting if we have to discuss it.
I don't think we have enough information
I'm gonna tell you this, you guys need to do that sooner than later, because again, they've been waiting for 2 weeks and they haven't even gotten that claim approved yet.
Yeah, that'll be fine,
So,
no wait.
If you say you can get on tomorrow, just
Yeah,
gonna,
I'll call them tomorrow.
you can tell tomorrow, we can figure it out. Thanks, Andy. Any other new business?
No, that's all I had. So the solid waste thing, we don't need to worry about anymore, that's,
No, yeah,
Okay.
yep, I did get an email, so yeah, that's all.
Great.
okay.
Alright, department reports, anything else from you there?
Nothing more
You
from
good
me
there?
yet.
Yeah, all that I was gonna say was, yeah, I received that email today, saying they were, discontinuing the accounting support services provided by the township of Wesco. And then also me and Jeremy met this morning with Casey and DLZ, just kinda going over where we're at with the different projects that we have and kinda what that looks like with, you know, just communication with them and us and, yeah, kinda having a overview kind of
Sure.
what we discussed.
Yeah, I got a condensed version here. And in no way, this will just take a few minutes, I'll hit the high points.
Thank you.
The one we had this morning was a little bit more granular. But this one kind of gives a snapshot of where all of the projects are at. financially as well as progress-wise. Community crossing project, Todd, of course, has been working with Jeremy on that. That construction's ongoing. They tried to get a pay application today, but we told them we'd have to wait till the next meeting because we didn't have time to review it. So at the next meeting, we should have pay application number 1. As a reminder, that project is scheduled to be done at the fall of this year, so it's moving forward. On the wastewater project, no action items on the treatment plant, just a reminder, substantial completion in terms of operation is the end of August, and then the only item beyond that is the bar screen, which will go into January. So right now, that's where that's going. Again, no action items tonight. Project B, that's what you just approved, that was API. That project was closed out tonight with the final pay app. If you go to the next sheet, project C and D, that's basically the sewer and storm sewer separation project, the south storm sewer or sanitary project we did. With that, at the next, actually there was going to be one today, then we pulled it off because we got some retainage we got to deal with and some seeding. On that project, at the next meeting, what we'll have is a change order. That will be a deduct change order, plus or minus $56,000. And then we'll have a pay application for retainage release, and it'll be everything but $10,000. We're gonna hold that back until you're okay with the seeding and restoration in terms of that grass coming up. So that project will come in at least under budget where we're at now. On the water project, if you recall, you awarded that at the last meeting. So we sent those documents to the contractor. We should have those agreements, bonds, and insurance that it can be signed, if not before the next meeting. Hopefully we'll have that at the next meeting. Issue notice to proceed, and then we'll set up a pre-con because they gotta get that first section done here by November, mid to late November. So that's pending, no action items. The water tower we're working on, that's a rehab project. And then the valve project, that was gonna be part of the water main project, we broke that out. That'll be probably bid later this year, most of that construction will be next year. And then, of course, the water meter replacement, some of those, I think most of those meters you bought.
They're all bought.
Yep, they're all bought. Some of the town forces have put some of them in.
45%.
Okay. And then there may be a portion that will break out into a quote package that some of the town forces will not be putting in. And then again, at some point in the future, you will close on those ban proceeds. Again, as a reminder, no July NDOT application for CCMG, possible still in January. To make a decision now, but hopefully we'll have funding is not as good as it's been in the past, like we talked about, but there should be an application hopefully early next year. And then we're working with Jeremy on updating your water audit. Those are done every 2 years. Basically, you gotta submit to IDEM to show how much water you're producing versus how much you're getting billed or you're billing people for. We're doing IDEM wanted us to redo that, work with Jeremy on that just to see where your losses are at and see if that's improved since last year. So, only action item was that pay app. We'll have more action items at the next meeting, but that is a quick run through on the few items you got going on.
When did NDOT cancel the community crossings applications for July? Cause I heard they were still gonna do it. I believe you, I hadn't heard about the
They
cancellation.
dispersed that, it's been a month or so ago.
Okay.
So they talked about maybe having a fall application, but.
Maybe the fall application.
Yeah, we have not
Yeah.
heard that formal, it's been talked about in the
I just know that
background.
program is really in trouble, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly, all the funding's going to Marion County,
Yeah.
or a good portion of it now, in the cities.
I think it went from like 500 million to 100 million.
Yeah. Yep, it went down quite a bit, so it's gonna be more competitive, it's gonna be a little bit harder to get the money. And that's one of the things we'll try to gauge as we go into the fall, is how we can repackage some of those applications, but that's something we'll know a little bit more as we go into the fall, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the information. Alright, I have nothing else, Mark?
You skipped Dustin,
What's that? Oh,
skip Dustin.
sorry, I was just going, councilwoman going around. I didn't
Nope, that's fine.
You got them.
do what?
Yeah,
We'll go down and go around, I mean, that.
The only thing I wanted to bring up real quick was that, and I know we've talked about it previously, because I talked about it when I was in the president piece of it, and I never done it. was just having like one of the council that would be the department go-to for them. Just better the communication and that kind of stuff, you know, have them have an avenue to communicate better with us. That piece of it, and then I would think, you know, the issues or concerns and stuff like that, being able to have that avenue into the council. You know, obviously they can talk anytime here, but it gives them that avenue, you know, when we're sitting down with them and doing that monthly, you know, meeting with the departments monthly. I'd really like to see that happen. I think that might be a good avenue. I sat down with Dustin tonight and talked with him just a little bit, you know, with some of the things going on in that, and I think it's just a good avenue for keep that communication loop open.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know, my suggestion would be to think about the departments, how we wanna kinda split it up and that kinda stuff, and being able to meet with them and that kinda stuff, but, just a suggestion.
Good idea.
Any forms of, you know, right kind of communication, I guess, great idea, so.
Okay. That's all I have.
So basically then just now kind of decide,
Yeah,
kind of do,
makes good sense, you know, the president,
touch
and
with your-
Jeremy, you know, you'd have a meeting with, you're gonna be meeting with Jeremy and that kind of stuff. I'd be interested in, you know, underneath the public service, I'd be interested in helping with Dustin and that kind of stuff, you know. But it doesn't have to be that way, you know, whatever, everybody feels.
yeah, I think it's a good idea. Anything from you, better?
Okay, thank you.
Department's good overall. We had some people that brought up some concerns about the red lights, getting blown. I've kind of set out a time frame. I expect all the guys to work the lights per shift. Already written several tickets, hopefully it's no one here. So we're gonna do our due diligence to better patrol those red lights. We're having issues. The next few months we'll have the vast majority of vacation burn off for the year through the guys. Working on some budget stuff and gonna do just cheapest way possible, kind of a little facelift to the police department inside, just some repainting. Now that we're full staffed again, thank you guys. Gary being extra for a little bit of time before he gets back to the school. He's gonna help assist. He's been cleaning up the garage, getting rid of stuff for the excess, and he's gonna start helping to paint inside. He's got a little bit of meticulous ability, so he's gonna take care of those. Robert came to me, he had been in talks with Forker. They have an extra trailer, I don't know where it came from, but it's a boat trailer. It's sitting back here, and him and Robert have come talked about, we're gonna make them mobile. As long as the price, I don't think it should be terrible. I'll have to talk to Forker as well, see what kind of scrap metal we have. We'll have to fab something up to make one of our speed signs mobile. It'll just be on the trailer. It'll be a little bit easier to move around, like the one we have in Pleasant. We can move it, but it took 3 of us the day to mount it up like that and get it secured. So I think this will be locked and secured, so no one can obviously take it, and then we'll just lock it to either a tree or a utility pole, so we can move it around to where people see are having issues on their streets. So, just a few things in the works.
Cool.
Thanks,
Good
Dustin.
idea.
Yep, thank you.
Alright, Riley, how's it going out there at the plant, sir?
Doing good, project's coming along. Cameron's learning about all the lab work and numbers. You don't like the numbers anymore. So everything's doing good so far.
The company that we had come out with you, have they been out yet?
Not yet, I'm gonna give them a call tomorrow
Okay.
and see what they're doing.
Great.
I do have a water leak out there. The water is off. I plan on fixing it next week. Because it's a holiday weekend,
Yeah.
so I don't wanna open it up. I'm gonna try to get Forker out there to help me dig it up and fix it. I gotta talk to Jeremy about that, but he's on vacation. Other than that, feeling good.
Good. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Alright, Madeline?
No,
Nothing? Jeremy and Rick sent theirs in already, so.
Didn't see that.
Alright, there's nothing else on the agenda, so that, we stand adjourned.
Thank you.